offensive linemen, receivers. But when you're coaching JT or Dwayne, like, how do you improve a quarterback's ability to throw the deep ball? If that makes sense. What are you trying to do to enhance that with your room?
Well, it's not something that just happens overnight. It takes time, and it's something. Obviously, one of our major emphasis this off season and then this preseason and during the first half of the year was to stretch the field horizontally and then stretch the field vertically. And so it's been something we've been working on for a long time. We meet on it. It's when things don't go well, everyone wants to know from JT why it didn't go well, and coach and like everybody said, it's everybody. It's everybody involved in it, and it has been everybody. So when it does go well, everybody gets the credit. So we still got a long way to go, but we're making progress.
Are there particular drills or things that reads that you? What's the key just for your position?
It's getting everybody on the same page, especially the receivers and the quarterbacks. We do meeting together so that we're all on the same page. We're talking about the same timing, the same spacing, against certain coverages, where the ball is expected. And so I think, especially for the wide receivers, and Coach Smith does this as well, he teaches it through the eyes of the quarterback. So when a receiver understands where he needs to be and when he needs to be there, that makes a big difference.
Because one thing we saw, I think, in the spring, I don't know if you still do it, is like throwing over the nets and working on touch.
Sure.
Is that specific to a deep ball, or what's the purpose behind something like that?
The nets that we use are usually for those intermediate throws where we're trying to throw the ball right over the top of the underneath coverage. There's linebackers and things like that, and so we just work on trying to get the ball over the top of the net and drive the ball into those windows, and that's what that's for. The deep balls are usually more about timing and usually more about spacing and where in the field you expect the ball.
What do you expect? What's a successful percentage on hitting on the deep ball, and where have you guys been at through 5 weeks?
Yeah, our goal was to hit 50% of our deep balls.
Okay.
More realistic is probably closer to 40%. If we're hitting on 50%, that's a heck of a day, but that's our goal.
Coach Myers.
Where you are right now?
You know what? I don't have to go back and look at it.
Coach Myers said that those crossing patterns that we've seen, especially Johnny, that's something that you brought from San Francisco and places you've been. Is that something you felt maybe this offense maybe didn't have in the past, and it's something that you thought could really take this offense to the next level?
I mean, everybody had their hand in it, but one of the things we see is we see some man coverage, we see a lot of match coverage, and so some of those crossing routes really fit well. And we have some really talented receivers with speed, and so getting those guys on runners and helping us spread the field horizontally with getting guys going sideways and getting the ball out on time was critical. And so our timing has been good on that. And the guys have really run with it too. They've done a great job with that.
How much of, when you have those kind of routes, how long does it take for a guy like JT, who might not have had those concepts in the past, to kind of learn and anticipate those and get them to where you want them to be?
Yeah, it takes time. I mean, we've been doing this from the beginning of spring ball. And so I think the timing and the spacing has been good, and the guys have done a nice job. I mean, our wide receivers are like pros. You can change something up or change a split or change a motion or who's doing what. That may not be much to us, but it's a different presentation of the defense. And they're able to put it on the field from the meeting, and Coach Smith does a great job of that with those guys. So that's a huge weapon for us to be able to change up the looks against the defense.
JT's made some really good throws on that play in particular. Can you tell that he's very comfortable with that now?
Yeah, I do. I think he's got a good feel for it. I think, especially in this past game, he was able to slide and find some throwing lanes. He's able to move in the pocket. And I think he understands the timing of it, so that if he can slide and find a passing lane and then shoot the ball where he needs to based on the coverage, he's been making some progress with that. So hopefully we can just keep building from that.